Well, I'm here to talking about our project of infrastructure as a service in our company. But first you need to know who is Globe.com, okay? Who we are? We are international branch of Globe organization. Is a Brazilian company. We are considered to be a biggest media conglomerate in Latin America and the fourth around the world. Okay. About the Globe.com, we are the largest vertical web portals in Brazil. We have more than 150 million page views per day. Our average of unique user is more than 27 million in February in 2010. Currently, we have more than 1,500 physical servers in the production data center, okay, more than 60 gigabit of internet link. We are considered benchmark for high volume web distribution and responsible for largest simultaneous video streaming audience in the country, okay? Well, we have a big infrastructure in our data center. And two years ago, nothing was virtualized, okay? And we need, two years ago, we need first make a decision to start the virtualization in our infrastructure to reduce the costs, to reduce the data center size, etc. Okay. First, we need to automate existing manual workflow. I can change the workflow existing to make a new process, you know. We have some processes automated. And in our approach, it need used in new approach for infrastructure as a service. To do it as well, we need identify the new infrastructure process to be automated, and the infrastructure as a service system need to fit to the company and not to reverse. It's very hard change a company to include, to put a system, adapt a system to the company, you know? Because it is not just to change, consolidate process and workflow to adapt in a system. Well, to have the infrastructure as a service system, we needed to create some new infrastructure process. The components needed were an API to integrate the switches and load balancer communication, an API to integrate the core application with the existing monitoring system and mechanism for application deployment. The X API is an important component to make this possible, okay? Of these objects are controlled from the core application that I will present in the next steps, okay? This basically is the architecture of the infrastructure as a service system. I have all integrated to do a simple system to set up the infrastructure. The first component, the network API. I need a relationship between the server and switch ports. I need to know where a server port is connected in a switch port, you know? Because I have trunking all port suites, and I know open all VLANs to all servers. I set up only the VLANs used for the server, okay? It is important because we have a lot of VLANs and a lot of traffic between the VLANs. It's not just send all packages to all servers. because, and I can filter this in a port switch to have only the VLAN needed for the server, okay? The switch communication by SNMP or SSG, and I can control it remotely the switch ports and as well the load balancers, okay? And in this component, I have implementation of user profiles for policies for human or system users. In these policies, I can permit who can do what, you know? Well, it's integrated as well the monitoring, where when I'm starting a new virtual machine, before needed send an email to people to set up the rules for the virtual machine to be monitored. Instead this, the system is integrated with Nagios in English, yes? With the Nagios, with a REST API to set up the monitoring for the VM is started, okay? As well, when the virtual machine is tagged as maintenance or is disabled or shut down, etc., I can communicate with this API to disable the monitoring. The deployment is not yet integrated automatically with the system, but we have a part of this system to set up the applications, the internal application into the virtual machines, okay? I can, by web interface, set up the application using Capistrano or whatever system to deploy the applications. The future idea is when the virtual machine is started, the idea is in moment is create, deploy the operational system after, set up the VLAN, include the virtual machine in monitoring, create the rules to load balancers, and after deploy, if your virtual machine is okay to receive the new connections. What about the motivation to use the XCP? First, the pooling is a nice rule because I have only one page to get status and setup of all pools, virtual and virtual resource, okay? I can only in this one way get status of a lot of virtual machines. The API is very, very easy. It's fast to program and maintain. The architecture of the API is very, very nice. If fast, I have many binds, client binds to many flavors to write in an application, okay? I have prioritization. In my infrastructure, maybe I have close under 100% running only Linux, okay? The community of Zen and the XCP is largely devoted, okay? It's easy to ask it for people for support something, etc. First, I need a place to the clients, the users, connect to the interface, okay? I have a component called front end. Is written in Django application running on Apache. It is used to users access and authentication. Unifies all other infrastructure as a server, infrastructure as a service components, defines all workload and system integration. In this component, I have all related with all objectives on the system. Here, in this part is make the interaction with others components, etc. Here is, I know when I need to start the monitoring, when I need to start the installation, the operational system installation. Here I know when I can input put the virtual machine in a load balancer, etc. I have the other component called XAPI integration. It's written as well with a Django application running on Apache. I have in this component a VNC console proxy encapsulated with token to identify clients to make the VNC console more secure. I translate the front-end integration application call this component by REST API. And the XAPI integration translates all REST API to native XAPI calls, okay? All calls to XCP pools are only natively accessible from the integration component because I don't want people access directly the servers to make it more secure as well. For install, I have a lot of process to install hosts in virtual machine, okay? For hosts, I use PXA boot. I modify the answer file to an attended installation, okay? And I change as well the first bootd to maintain the static IP on the host server. It needed because the XCP default installation after pull eject function make the host return to original install state. In this case, the host was installed from DACP, and the first boot file are configured to use a dynamic IP. You know? Okay. The virtual machine. I use Kickstart for an attended installation integrated into the system. Okay. Each virtual machine has a static IP configured by system insert information in Linux kernel CMD line. I have no, because I need this, because I need know the IP to send it to load balancer to set up some virtual IP, you know. Traditionally, we have these pools. In each pools, some servers. In each server, some virtual machines. This is traditionally view, okay? Well, if we have 100 pools, it will be hard to identify what the VM was designated. To turn it more easy, we created some entitles to know what the VM makes, okay? Well, in this vision, we have new entitles. The owner is the entity responsible for aggregate projects. With this way, I can build each owner by its virtual resource, okay? Each project can be up to 5 environments like dev, QA1, QA2, stage and production. To better organization, we decided to organize identical virtual machine in a entity called virtual group. Virtual group is a template as well to build a virtual machine with the same resource like size disks and memory, VLANs, domain in load balancers, etc. Okay? It's turn easy and effective to virtual environment build. I can know easily what about each virtual machine. I have some benefit with this new approach. If I need to search about web servers from project Y, I can look it easily. I can bill each owner to know how much is the virtual environment for owner. Management, I get out the manual process to include it all into a system. Okay, I have a great reduction of time to set up a new project, and I easily can get a virtual machine in maintenance. Okay, because all is integrated, and I could do it easily. Well, the workflow. The workflow defines the workflow between teams. Into the system, I have an integration process between teams. If I need an action, a human action of someone, the system can do this. Okay. It is integrated with the ticket system to request a human action. Keep the same flux previously used when the action weren't automated. Checklist of each item to release the resource. This is our workflow architecture. I have some profiles in system, and one profile can inherit another. Okay, I have the base is the VM operator, and after virtual machine administrator, and after project administrator, and pool operator and pool administrator. One can inherit the function of the others. The virtual machine operator can start the virtual machine, can stop, can insert the virtual machine in maintenance, it can access the console. Okay. The virtual machine administrator inherit the virtual machine operator functions and can remove the virtual machine and add a new virtual machine in infrastructure. The project administrator inherits the others and can manage owners and create and remove change virtual groups, add and remove virtual IPs, and can create, remove, change projects, as well add and remove project environments. Well, in other way, I was in logical way. This is the physical, more turned to pools, to server, etc. The pool operator can add and remove hosts, add and remove hosts in maintenance. He inherits the virtual machine operator actions, okay? The pool administrator inherits the pool operator and can add and remove pools, add pools in projects, and add and remove hosts from profiles. The pool administrator is the group, the profile that interact with the project administrator to set up a new project into the system. And I have the network administrator. He can set up virtual IPs for load balancers of virtual groups, okay? And define virtual groups VLANs ID. This can't access a console or start or stop virtual machine because it's not a function related to this profile. The roadmap for future, we are working in this project 1 year ago. And we have new features needed in our system, okay? First, the deployment integrate with the system core to tag the deployment in projects. Manage the DNS automatically using an API. The bind9, I think, has an API to manipulate it by system. Monitoring, I need more rich details like how much, if an application is running or not. Currently, we are only monitoring if the virtual machine is alive or not. In the future, I need more rich details to do this. In XCP, well, I told it to XCP guy here, I need to permit many virtual machines to use the same shared storage block, basically to use it with web farms. If I have 100 virtual machines for the same application, I don't need the same number of the disks, you know? I need only one disk mounted regionally for the virtual machines, okay? And as well, I can mount it read-only and put the log remotely, and the temporary files can be stored in memory of a virtual machine. Okay. I need a process to master recover. I do this writing a lot of shell scripts to do. I know this feature has in Zen server, but has no in XCP. And I need something like virtual machine high availability. Okay. Well, that's all. Thank you. I'm so sorry for my not great English.
You could have just done Portuguese, that would have been fine.
Next time I talk only in Portuguese, okay?
Anyone have any questions? We could take one or two.
I have some help with.
We'll have the next speaker set up while we take some questions.
Any specific reason to provision machines with quick start and not using VM cloning?
Sorry, I don't listen good here from here.
I can speak in Portuguese.
Please. You can.
Any specific reason to use quick start to provision machines instead of using VM cloning?
I know you use VM cloning. Because in our solution, if you install the virtual machine in my filer, the cost and not be less. Instead, the standalone server, you know. I use actually local disks of servers to do this. In the future, I can use the iSCSI to storage the virtual machine, but in the storage, but I needed the new approach to to use the same disk in the storage for many virtual machine. But I don't think in use this approach to do this infrastructure.